Okay, let's talk about one of the biggest time sinks in our professional lives, the dreaded meeting. But hey, this isn't about complaining. This is about transforming those meetings from a black hole of productivity into something, well, something that's actually sharp, effective, and maybe even enjoyable.
You know that feeling, right? You're sitting in a meeting, just watching the clock, thinking, why am I even here? While the discussion just goes completely off the rails. Yeah, you are not alone. But that feeling, it doesn't have to be your reality.
Look, we're not here to just vent about the problem. We're here to hand you the playbook to solve it. This is all about taking back control of your calendar, one meeting at a time.
And the solution? Well, it all starts with a single, powerful number 5.
That's the promise right there. 5 specific, totally actionable techniques that are going to fundamentally change how you run meetings. So let's dive right into the very first one. Everything, and I mean everything, starts before the meeting even kicks off. The absolute key is to be relentless about prioritizing what actually deserves everybody's time and attention. Honestly, if you can get the agenda right, you've already won half the battle. And the first tool in our toolbox is the 5-5-5 method. This thing is a brilliant mental filter. It's designed to stop those low-impact topics from ever even making it onto the agenda. The real beauty of this is just how simple it is. Before you add anything to an agenda, you ask these 3 questions. I mean, if a topic isn't going to matter in 5 months, let alone 5 years, does it really deserve an hour of your entire team's time? It's a simple gut check that proves, you know what? A lot of meetings should just be emails. So, the 5-5-5 method filters out all the noise. But what about those big, kind of intimidating topics that do make the cut? Well, that's where the Swiss cheese method comes in. Instead of just staring at this giant, solid block of a problem, it teaches you to poke small, manageable holes in it. This gives you a clear path forward. You break the problem down by asking 3 simple things. What's a quick win we can grab right now? What key info are we missing? And who can own a piece of this? All of a sudden, that huge, scary problem becomes a clear set of next steps that people can actually do. Okay, so your agenda is sharp, it's focused. Awesome. Now we step into the meeting. The next challenge is keeping the conversation itself from getting all tangled up and complicated. It's time to simplify the discussion. Our first tool for this is the Feynman technique, named after the genius physicist. The core idea is simple. If you can't explain something simply, you probably don't understand it well enough yourself. In a meeting, this forces everyone to drop the corporate jargon and get to the actual point. And you can pair that perfectly with Hick's law. Now, this is a huge concept in psychology and design, and it is absolutely critical for meetings. It basically says the more choices you give people, the longer it's going to take them to decide anything. It's called analysis paralysis, and it can grind a meeting to a halt. So, think of these two as a powerful 1-2 punch. First, you use the Feynman technique to make the ideas themselves crystal clear. Then you apply Hick's law to narrow down the choices to just a manageable few. When you combine simple ideas with simple choices, you know what you get? Fast, effective decisions. Boom. All right, so we've prioritized the agenda, we've simplified the discussion. The final piece of the puzzle is about managing the most valuable resource we have, time. This section is all about creating focus and urgency to accelerate action. You've probably heard of Parkinson's law, right? That whole idea that work expands to fill whatever time you give it. Well, shrinking theory is the direct antidote. It's the simple, powerful idea that by aggressively limiting the time, you force everyone to be focused and efficient. And putting this into practice is surprisingly easy. First, stop defaulting to 60-minute meetings. Just stop. Schedule them for 25 minutes instead to force a hard stop. Then, time box every single item on your agenda. And for an extra kick, put a countdown timer on the screen for everyone to see. It creates this shared urgency that just keeps things moving. So, let's bring this all together. These aren't just 5 random tips, okay? They actually form a complete, cohesive system. This is your new playbook for running meetings that actually work. And here it is, the entire system right here. Look at the flow. You start before the meeting with the 5-5-5 and Swiss cheese methods to set a killer agenda. Then, during the meeting, you pair Feynman and Hick's law to make sure discussions are clear and decisive. And finally, shrinking theory is like the container for the whole thing, forcing focus from start to finish. See? It's a complete system. So there you have it, 5 proven techniques to reclaim your time and make your collaborations actually count. The only question left is, go on, look at your calendar for this week. Which meeting are you going to fix first?